Welcome back to Between Two Italians.
With Marco and Erica.
Of course. Erica, how are you doing?
I'm very well. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Thank you so much for asking. You only ask me these questions when we are doing the show.
No,
you
that's
never
not
ask me
true. That's
in the
not
morning.
true.
Yes.
No, I always ask you how you are. Always.
You sure?
Yes, I do. All the time.
Why do we have a different opinion on this?
No, I do. You forgot.
Yeah?
You forgot. Yeah.
Okay. Ever done anything bad?
No, not at all. Not at all. Never.
You wanna put this on?
Never.
Okay, thank you so much. So guys, welcome back to the show. If you're already familiar with the show, we are two presenters.
You say that.
Yes, we're two buffoons.
We're
two buffoons. I'm not afraid. Okay. I mean, we shouldn't say that we are, right? But some of the audience might misunderstand what we say.
We spread happiness.
We spread happiness. It's easier.
We spread happiness all the time, every single day, and to as many people as we can. We want to put a smile on your face.
And as you know, we're not singers. Okay. You learned this from the previous from our previous mistakes, but we like to give you these bad performances again and again.
And also we want to welcome our guests, and
Exactly.
Also we don't have a band during this quarantine, so someone needs to sing.
I like the energy that you have.
Sing, right?
A band during these quarantine.
You have to feel it, right?
It's there. It's the passion.
I feel it.
Ah.
I feel it.
Yes. Awesome.
So today we have a very special guest.
Yes.
Very
Is this
special.
for me?
Yes, it is for you.
Thank you.
Fresh minutes. Always need it.
Fantastic. Would you like some?
No, I'm okay. I'm
Sure?
okay.
Okay.
Yes, I'm okay.
So let's start the song and let's hope for the best. Hakuna Matata.
What a wonderful phrase.
Na 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 na. Hakuna Matata.
Ain't no passing craze.
It means no worries
For the rest of your days.
It's a problem-free philosophy.
Hakuna Matata.
And let's welcome Carolina.
Let's welcome Carolina Larriera. Welcome and good afternoon.
Carolina, you look fantastic.
You look gorgeous, amazing.
I love your hair. I love them, and I love your dress as well.
And dress as well. Yes.
Yeah, we're very happy to be with you guys in this fantastic show.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being with us.
Welcome.
First and foremost, I love your outfit. Is it Argentinian or does it come from
Brazilian.
Yeah, from other countries.
Happy Erika.
Is it Brazilian?
We're from Brazil. We need to be happy and green and, full of hope.
Yes.
Green is a color of hope, especially in the pandemic.
We need
Exactly. We need to.
We try.
We try with colors.
We cannot go shopping, we do it with colors, with all the colors we can have.
Yes,
Absolutely,
colors.
Colors
Definitely help a little
attract
bit.
positivity, energy, and only good things.
And you are in Argentina at the moment, right?
In Brazil.
I mean.
No, sorry, in Brazil. Yeah.
But I am from Argentina.
But
But you are from Argentina, yes. And what about there is a painting on your right? Yeah, that one. Yeah. Well, what is it about? And what does it represent? Anything? Oh, it's Chinese.
It's Chinese. Yeah.
Yes.
Amazing.
Chairman Mao.
Beautiful. Yes.
Chairman Mao.
Yes.
Where did you get it? Where
Oh,
did
we
you-
can see.
I got
Oh, yeah, we
it,
can see now properly. Yeah.
I got it years ago in Beijing.
Ah, okay.
Beijing. It represents Chairman Mao calling for people to join the Communist Party.
Okay. And did you buy it or did you stole it?
I definitely bargained.
Yeah, you bargained.
But I bought it. I bought it in a market. I bought it in a second-hand market where they had all this kind of, paraphernalia from the 70s, which
Mercato nero. Mercato nero.
Not the black one.
Mercado Negro. Exactly. I just love this, and I thought it was kind of cute because he is talking to the people.
I love it. Yes, exactly. Yeah, I love that. And they are cheering.
He's holding their red card from the party, which is, I think it's interesting.
Yes.
When we talk now about the trade wars between the US and China.
Oh yeah, all of that. Yeah.
All this comes out in the surface again.
What's your opinion on the big chaotic?
You traveled all around the world. How many countries have you been in?
Well, I've been in a lot. I don't know. A lot.
75?
75.
I'm gonna start.
There's 193. There's 193 that belong to the United Nations.
Oh.
And,
so working for quite a long time for the United Nations, you might have visited most of them, I guess, right?
Erica, you asked me what I thought about that, and I think that we are the poorest, in here in Latin America, in the UK, in Italy, in Brazil, in Argentina. I think we are only, stand by to, the big powers,
Exactly.
We survive.
We are powerless, basically. Yeah, we just have to hope that we survive this.
I'm grateful.
They don't take it too seriously. They don't take this fight too seriously because
exactly.
not worth it.
Okay, tell us a little bit more about yourself. So basically, you work. Tell us a little bit.
Yes, you've been an economist for the United Nations for quite a long time.
Teacher at Harvard, consultant.
You face the UN.
How many jobs do you do?
Militias and terrorists. You fight for human rights, and I'm so
is this right?
happy about this.
Can you have as a human? Is this I have 12 jobs?
Tell us a bit more about it
about them
and why? Why?
And why 12?
Why I work in so many places? No, why? You get up in the morning and I tell myself, what are you doing, Carolina?
Today I'm gonna be a consultant.
Today, I'm from South America, and I had a dream, and I went to work for the United Nations. I think it's something that if we have convictions, we should go and we should pursue them. Break every barrier, because barriers are here and here. And just go for it.
You don't mean physically, like breaking walls.
Sometimes, probably.
Unless you have enough money to go and fix them again, but metaphorically.
Metaphorically, yes, we break barriers.
Wow, barriers. And now there is a movie that came out that's a little bit tells, in a Hollywood type of way.
Yeah.
A little bit.
What do you think about the movie? Was the actress correct in the representation of your character?
It's weird. It's weird. I think she's a great actress, definitely.
Ana de Armas, she is wonderful. Yes.
Fantastic. Yes.
This is
usually that was brilliant. There is a but.
I will tell you something. That I think it's very important. That it's really weird to see yourself being interpreted by someone.
Okay.
And,
Erica does a parody of myself every day. Yeah. And it's not nice. You see, I told you.
You cut your hair and you do the hair.
Yeah.
Also all the time.
And I have to pay her as well for the performance. Yeah.
Do you charge a lot, Erica? How much do you
No,
charge?
I'm very. It's free. It's like,
just free.
I'm very like.
It's so strange to see, somebody that I'll just tell you an example that. Ana de Armas, who's a great actress, she wears her hair brunette.
Yeah.
Yes.
And suddenly, when I met her in Rio, she was,
blonde.
She had blonde, and I used my hair parted on a side, and she had her hair parted, and and I wear, long dresses, skirts that are long, and suddenly she's, she's like unlike what the picture
you've seen before,
Yes.
Was she wearing your same clothes as well? Did she steal any clothes from your house?
Did they get inspirations from your real clothes?
Did she say, I want you to be perfect? Yeah.
I'll tell her. That's a good suggestion. I'll pass it on to her to give them back.
Yeah. Hello, did you like my clothes? Oh, so sweet.
But actually, now I should ask her for the clothes that she wore in the movie. She can send them to me because I like them.
Oh yeah.
I really.
I like the one,
So that
one
was-
shirt from Sergio as well. If you want to send it to me, I'm gonna send you my address there.
Which one? The light blue one? That one?
The light blue one, yes, exactly. Yeah. How do you?
It will make you serious. I like the one that you're wearing now.
Oh yeah, I know. It's more, yeah.
It's more Brazilian.
It's more Marco.
It's more Marco, yes, yeah.
Exactly, more Marco, exactly.
Much more, yeah.
Marco. Yeah, alive, especially for the quarantine when we have to stay home.
Exactly.
Yes, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I would like to see a little bit more over there. Yeah, you know.
Yes.
During
You
the.
should actually stand up to a turn so we can all see.
Yeah, can we see? Can we see something? Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Shall I turn?
Yes, please. Yeah. Oh, an applause to this. An applause to this. Yeah. It's very nice.
Oh, thank you.
Have you ever done acting performances? No.
Never.
Oh.
Never. I act as myself. That's the only role I know how to play.
Not even a fake laugh.
Do I have a fake laugh?
That's very convincing. Yeah. Let's
Very
put it
convincing.
this,
Very
yeah.
convincing. Yeah.
Can you cry? Can you do a fake cry?
I don't think anybody will hire me though.
You never know. You never know. You know, it's all about being famous,
You
right?
never know. That could be my number 13th type of job. You can put it in my CV.
Your numbers.
What would be the other 12? Oh yeah, but because yeah, it's at 12.
Yeah,
before, yeah. Yeah, true. Yeah.
Harvard and economics.
Yeah. I should have gotten this straight away. Yeah, sorry, I'm getting. I'll catch up later eventually. Yeah, I'm a man. I know my limits.
Oh God.
Have you ever faked a cry? Like, I'm so sorry. I don't know.
I'm not sure if I faked crying. I think every time I cried for real.
Okay.
Time I
Not even like. Oh, because in Argentina, like Italy, right? They're quite dramatic.
And
Don't cry
Brazil.
for me, Argentina.
Can you sing? Can you sing?
Only when I shower.
Okay, only on the
when you
show.
shower.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Do
Yes.
we know Don't Cry for Me Argentina?
Don't cry for me, Argentina.
The truth is I never left you to my wilding, my very distance. That's it.
We should have
What a
sung
voice!
this next
Mamma
song.
mia!
Yes.
Mamma mia!
Super show.
So Carolina, yeah, you were saying, yeah, I don't want to interrupt you.
You sure?
Yes.
I mean, you can interrupt.
No, I know
me,
you
yeah?
have it there. I
You
can
sure?
feel it.
Okay,
yes.
I
Your
get it.
embarrassing question for Carolina is there.
No, I
You
don't
feel
know
it. I sense it.
What's your dating life at the moment?
You were talking about crying, so maybe we should start crying.
Oh yeah. Yeah, true. Fair enough. But I don't know how long was it ago, because the movie.
It was 17 years ago, actually.
17 years ago. Oh, sure, yeah. So
right? Yeah.
it was a long time. So
It was a very long time.
are you on the market at the moment, or?
I'm on the market.
Oh, okay.
I'm on the market, but I can't go to the market.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
I can't go. You know, I'm all dolled up with nowhere to go.
Fair enough. How is the dating life in São Paulo?
Normally, I think it's okay.
It's okay.
But at this time, you know, it's really a challenge. I think it's really challenging because, you know, you have to, you know,
Wear masks. Yeah.
really before wear masks and, you know, have glass or plastic.
Yeah.
You know, it's,
You can't really date with a glass. I mean, yeah, no.
That would ruin the
No,
magic.
really.
Yeah, right.
Not only the magic.
Everything. Right?
Yeah,
It's
everything.
like, yeah.
How do you guys, you know, thank God that you guys are together and at home because, you know,
Yeah.
and and you could potentially pass the coronavirus on to one another, but because otherwise it's impossible.
Erica has a glass in the house. No.
That cone.
So how have you been spending this quarantine? What have you been doing during this quarantine? What are you doing actually? Because you are still in quarantine, I guess, right, in Brazil?
So there's something interesting that in Brazil and in South America we have just finished the summer and we are heading into our winter.
Yeah.
which is of course, not like in Europe, where, it's really cold. That's why I'm wearing this.
Yes.
So it's like the reverse from you guys, that that if people want to go out, like we are, we are on the second month of the quarantine, but we are it's getting colder outside.
How much colder are we talking about? Like 35 degrees?
36.
36, yeah.
Yeah, that's not the same.
That's basically, yeah.
It's the same cold
No,
of
but
London, yeah?
The thing is, everything is relative.
It's relaxed.
Exactly,
Yeah, true.
exactly, yes.
If you're used to, 45 degrees, 20 degrees feels cold.
Yeah, true.
20 degrees feels cold. And also there's something that the humidity, it's very humid here. So
Yeah.
if it's humid, you actually feel much colder than if it's dry. Plus, there's another thing, that because we are used to the tropics, houses don't have heating because we don't need heating.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
But there's one day humid, or there's one day which is like a new cold. You freeze. You're like socks and so.
Yeah.
So so I always say that never think of in absolute terms, but think about relative terms. Where we are coming from and where we are now.
Exactly.
Yes, yeah.
That's very true.
And applause to this.
That's very true. Everything is relative.
Especially because the concept can be extended to everything that is different in the world. People. You were a diplomatic, right? You were working as diplomatic. So you were changing places. You stayed in many also different countries, and some of them dangerous. What was the feeling? What was the feeling of being on the ground?
Close to danger, on the ground.
Close to danger. Have you ever held a gun? I don't know.
We had the training on, holding guns, because you never know in these places when security will change. And you never know from where the threat will come from. Sometimes you have this kind of training, not because you're going to use it, but to raise awareness of how sensitive the situation is. So sometimes the training kind of places you in that space where your mind adjusts to being prepared for everything. And in these places, life can be really hard. And I think that the pandemic now, the coronavirus, where we have to stay at home and be confined at home, in a way mimics a lot of how we used to feel when we were, in Timor and in Iraq. And I'll give you a little example, which is, I never told this to anybody, but I think that is relevant for the audience, especially for those who are stuck at home, walking up the wall. One of the things that we couldn't do in Baghdad was leave the hotel. We would go from home to work and then from work to home. It was very, we couldn't exercise, we couldn't do anything. So we would go up and down the staircase. We would just, do exercise going up and down, because we couldn't go for a run, and we used to love to do exercise.
Oh my gosh, okay. So a lot of workout.
Okay, yes.
So you can try with your neighbors. You can try it in your building. Perhaps.
Definitely. After the interview, straight away. Yes.
We'll walk up and down.
Hello, guys. It's us, the Italians from the.
We are training.
From downstairs.
We are being told from Carolina.
Just don't tell everybody to do it at the same time, because then you get the.
Oh yeah, of course, it can be a mess. Yes, it's not preferable. Yeah, you were trained to use a gun, a rifle, a bazooka, a grenade, a tank. No? Too much? I've got too much. Yeah. Okay, I should have stopped the joke before. Yes, yeah. Sorry to the audience. Yeah.
The goal of knowing how to use a gun, for instance, is to be able to gain perspective on the security situations of these places, which is more of having an idea that you should be always on the lookout, because security can change, could have changed in any second. To have that awareness, sometimes you only have it by having some security training. So
yes, yeah.
We used to have
True. Have you ever felt, this is it, now I'm in danger, this this might be it, you know, that situation where you...
Or it was sudden, so you couldn't really like...
And where? And where? Where did this happen? In Iraq?
You know, it's
Rome,
interesting that you say that because
Thailand.
we had I remember an episode which was very illustrative from what you're saying, that they were shooting at our office. There were some gunmen who were from a distance shooting at the building, you know, at the UN building where we were working. Somebody says, voiced out, can you hear those gunshots? They're shooting at us. And I remember a colleague of mine said, where? Let's go see it at the window. Somebody said, no, you can't.
No, they're shooting.
Yeah, and I say it laughingly because it's a paradox, you know. You know, human beings, we want to know what's going on, and that's sometimes that same curiosity, which is your natural reaction, which is your knee-jerk reaction, is the one that you know brings you into danger. You know, let me see what's going on. They're shooting at us. And I remember also that, for instance, when we were in East Timor, I lived in this house, and you know, in the middle of the city, but it didn't have like the basic securities that you have, like a lock, you know, or being completely safe. And I used to sleep with a knife under my pillow, you know, just to be able to. Just to feel safe, you know.
Yes,
anything,
Was it one from Rambo? Yeah.
It sounds like a joke, but you have to, you know. I guess that's the only way you can sleep is if you have a knife.
I guess all the movie is quite realistic because based on your story, basically.
It's a biopic, in
so,
a way.
So it's interesting because, thank you for asking me, Marco, this question, because
my pleasure.
I think it's important. It's important to realize that, you know, in a film, life has to be summarized in an hour and a half, which is the span of time that people devote to a movie. So a lot of things are.
Did it last more than 2 hours and a half in real life?
Yeah, it lasted 2 hours and 35 minutes, actually.
Oh, okay. I knew it. There was something missing.
A few minutes there.
A few minutes.
So in the movie, it's condensed. You know, our life is condensed to that. So there's a lot of things that you know, as a person, it's like, well, you know, you abbreviated that, or no, this happened over a period of time, and you know, Sergio had met my family, and I had met Sergio's family, you know, and it's not there in the movie. And it's like, well, fine, you know. Fine.
That would have been more actors, therefore more expensive, yeah.
Right, exactly. You know,
it's an acting point of view, right?
His mother was complaining, I should have been there, and I wasn't. My brother was
really
as well, yeah. Like,
you mean Sergio's mother?
It's so good to know. This is so good to know. Yeah.
That's so interesting to know. What did you say to her to console her and say?
It's okay, we're fine.
It's okay. She was
I'll
like,
go to Britalians, and I'll say that. I'll go to Britalians.
Absolutely. And now that you mention it, we want to meet Sergio's mother.
Definitely. She's gonna.
With her. Absolutely.
Definitely. Yes.
We'll be happy to.
We're gonna schedule another one in 4.
What's her name?
Actually,
so we can say hello.
Her name is Gilda.
Hello, Gilda. If you're
watching, you're next.
You are next, and
the queue.
We send you lots of love.
Is there a part of the story that you wish they would have kept?
For instance, that part, the part of our families, you know, and how much we had both met our families and we had been to each other's, you know, countries. That our life was not only, you know, in war zones, but we also kind of returned to normal life. You know, for dramatizations, you know, they have changed the times. It shows as if we had been engaged, or we were about to get engaged, and we were never engaged. But no, we were already engaged.
Oh.
Yeah, so these are the ones that he gave me. So Sergio and I were already engaged. we were living together, and with families were involved. And in the movie, it's just simplified where Sergio has the intention, but he never, he dies before. Again, that's a simplification, which is for the purposes of telling a story within the hour and a half. And it's one of the constraints, the natural constraints that, storytelling in film has over, to tell facts of real life. But there is one element which I think it's important to clarify for the audience, to know that if they interpret it in a different way, they may be wrong, and that's indeed important. In the film, there is a scene where Sergio tells the military to take out a tank which seems to be guarding the UN building in Baghdad.
Okay.
Exactly, yes.
And some people may perhaps think that because of that scene, that means by extension that Sergio has responsibility for the security of the building. And I think it's important to clarify this. That in Baghdad, we were UN diplomats, we were doing negotiation, and we were doing the transition towards elections for the Iraqis. And that was in itself a very difficult, type of job. For you to have an idea, we needed to speak, with the political parties, we needed to speak with the NGOs, we needed to speak with civil society, and that took a lot of work.
Were they so hard to communicate with?
It's very hard. It's extremely hard. And then there was another group of people that did what Erica was trying to do today, which is, solve technical aspects, which are very important because otherwise you can't do the work.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But you need to have those tasks separate. So one does the talking, and then somebody else, does the technical part.
Absolutely,
because otherwise
yes.
It gets too complicated. So in Baghdad, that technical part also included the security.
Yeah.
So another person was tasked with making sure that the electricity was going on, making sure that the water was running. So Sergio was not in charge of security at all. He did not have any responsibilities for security. So while in the film it may seem that maybe he was responsible for security, he was not.
No, he wasn't. No, I thought that he was responsible for security because from the movie he says to everyone to leave, basically, because he wanted to feel to let the people feel that that was not a threat, that place would have been to help. And not a threat with all the army.
It was much welcome in the transition, right?
But some people can misinterpret that as him taking.
Like he was in charge.
Yeah, he was responsible because he took out the security for the bombing.
Oh, okay,
And I think there's a very subtle message there that, yes, indeed, we were doing the work of being close to the Iraqi, and that was important. We were doing that. But that it wasn't because you take out a tank that suddenly, we were unsafe. It's two different things.
It's not for that.
Right.
So do you think that everything that happened would have happened even if Sergio didn't send the people away?
I can only tell you one cannot really say what would have happened or what wouldn't have happened. There's so many variables.
Yes.
I can tell you a couple of things. I can tell you that we were very careful about security. We knew how vulnerable we were. Yeah. But also that wasn't Sergio's responsibility. That was somebody else's responsibility. And even that decision to take that tank out came from UN in New York, not from us.
We don't see that in the movie, I guess.
Yeah. No, all that part is not there. It seems that responsibility belongs to Sergio, and that then Sergio is, has the responsibility for the bombing, and that's not true. And and I think that's something that is important to highlight and to put it out there, because
it's a subtle but very important detail.
Yeah, it's very subtle, but somebody can come out and say, well, this is so sad and so terrible that happened, but it's his fault because he didn't take out because he shouldn't have taken out the security. And what I'm saying is that no, that was not, it's in the movie, but in real life, That,
it didn't happen like that. Yeah, of course. Yeah, they couldn't get the order from him, right? Maybe something like that.
Yeah, because technically, I think in the hierarchy,
Yes,
I think
in the hierarchy.
Exactly. He was not going to be giving orders to, to the forces of the largest army in the world. I mean, the soldiers don't take orders from their own hierarchy, not from somebody else who doesn't belong. Even if a tank would have been there, a tank would not have been able to stop a suicide bomber in a car, because the tank is too big and chunky and doesn't have
wasn't fast enough.
Wouldn't have been fast enough, because
it could have helped.
I don't think so. I don't think so, because a tank would be only a show of force, but no show of being fast or being able to act rapidly. The only way to act rapidly would have been with what's called intelligence, which is basically sharing information. The best way to keep people safe is by sharing information, and it's by sharing what in security parlance is called intelligence. Intelligence is a type of information that tells you what actions are here and there, and with sharing that and knowing who is doing what and doing where, is that people are kept safe. Otherwise, to give you an example, you would see in every embassy on the streets of London or in every embassy on the streets of Rome a tank or tanks, because that would be the only way to keep security. And
sure. I loved the scene where you were both under the rain.
That was very romantic.
That was fantastic. It reminds me of London. Yeah, of course. No, it's just really. I thought
it was very magical.
You see, even in Brazil.
Well, actually, one of the things about working in
humid
conflict
places.
areas, right? In is that when it rains, it pours, right?
It pours. It's a downpour.
Unfortunately, in these conflict places, many of them are in places that are in the tropics, which are very poor. And that scene it shows very well how weather really changes in an instant.
So was that detail of the story with the rain and that romantic scene true? So did you really experience this most magical? Oh, it happened without rain.
Erika wants to know the details.
Because since we were talking about a magical scene,
ask her all the questions.
Right?
Maybe
she could even say no. It was even more romantic than that, and
I know where you're going.
Show it, right?
I know you're.
Was it like that, Carolina?
It was more romantic.
Oh, okay, that's what I wanted to hear.
Minus the rain, it was dry.
Minus the rain,
right,
beautiful. But indeed, as you said, Erika, I am an economist, and I actually traded a career in doing economics for the rich, for doing economics for the poor. Before I entered the United Nations, I used to work in the financial district in Wall Street in New York.
So in the corporate, so you made quite a big change.
I came from the corporate world. I started doing finance and doing managing money for the rich, until I found that I needed something more. I needed
something more,
a challenge.
Yes.
And I think more rewarding in a way. I don't know. I feel your heart is much better served from making this
absolutely change. All my respect to those doing finance.
Of course, yes.
I have friends that are still doing that. But for me, I felt I needed something that filled me more, and I needed to be able to make an impact, a real impact on people who have nothing to have something. And I knew
this
that
is so
with my
beautiful.
portfolio,
This is so beautiful.
This is amazing.
Really,
this is so beautiful, because
Yeah.
You are probably what I would have loved to be. My very first dissertation was on human rights.
Yeah.
My very first, when I was not even in university, before university, in college, was really on human rights. And then after that, university again, other things, and on international cooperation and development and the common, and doing something good for the people. So working with the people,
Because it doesn't take a lot. It doesn't take a lot to change somebody's life. Sometimes it's a little action, and but sometimes you can influence with a microcredit. In my case, that's the way I found.
Exactly.
That's the
20
path I
pounds.
found. Well, 20 pounds in a very poor place in, somewhere in Southeast Asia or Latin America, it does make a difference. And sometimes the difference may be to be able to send a kid to school or not. And if a kid goes to school, that means
then you
that
start
eventually
searching for more money for this cause. There is one thing leads to
it's
another. It's nice.
Thing,
it's
and,
good,
and then you allow an entire population to become independent and.
That means that they can read and write. If they can read and write, there's some type of jobs that you can access that if you don't.
You're an amazing, you're a fantastic human being. If
Yes,
the
I'll pay you later for that.
I got your check before, so yeah.
Okay, right.
We're
You flew
golden.
from Brazil.
Just for the
right?
audience to know, so arranged.
Yeah, and I got your notes.
No, the-
as well. Yeah, I got that.
Upside down.
You're amazing. Love your hair. Said it.
Okay. Say something good
You're
to
a
Marco.
gorgeous dresser.
Yeah, you should have received my notes as well. Yeah. I mean, I know I might say something that is granted, but it's really true that if the world were like you are,
Exactly.
and really people would help each other,
If we had a lot of Carolinas populating the entire world, oh my God, such a beautiful place.
But even like us,
Yes,
we help a
like
lot.
us,
Yeah,
we
we help our
I didn't want
neighbors.
to-
And a lot of Marcos and Ericas.
and lots of bars.
Exactly,
there,
we can have a laugh.
Lots of us to laugh and
For the rest, I'm useless.
laugh and help.
I mean,
and,
laughs, yeah.
You're raising something which is very interesting, that, this is something that, I was thinking these days, that there is something about being quarantined at home.
Mental health,
You're stuck in your apartment and, and it's difficult.
Yeah.
And
What do you do
sometimes-
to get better? Yeah.
Right, and I think that it's important to be connected to keep to keep perspective on things. First, not to be too harsh on those who are having a hard time, and there's a lot of people having a hard time. And then we are, in our confinement, we are not that bad. There are businesses that are closing. There are people who have, who are being fired. We have, we are pretty well off. We have access to an internet connection.
Of course, yeah. It's a very privileged life.
Yes, absolutely. Being quarantined under a roof and with food and connection.
In fact, we didn't say
family,
anything
friends.
because we are in no position to say, oh, this quarantine, to be like, when there is people that really is having a bad quarantine.
I think also it's important to put things into perspective. That when you put things into perspective, is when you realize that, as bad as it is for us, it is bad. For others, it's much worse. So sometimes when we remember that, and maybe the movie helps you remembering that there are people out there that are much worse. And then we take that and we say, okay, this is really bad, but okay, not that bad. And then when you take that perspective, you start feeling a little bit better about yourself.
Yes,
I think it's important to feel good during the quarantine. And
it is very.
Absolutely, it is, yes.
I mean, an applause to this as well. It's, really to be connected with the world and not thinking that everything runs around yourself.
We asked you about danger, but I would love to ask you, what's the most wonderful experience that you have in your heart and you remember still every single day, or something that is really, really close to you and that you remember while meeting all these people all across the world? Sorry. Sorry, it was very long, sorry.
I thought that the question was never ending.
Sorry, Carolina, sorry.
And then you felt it, and then
sorry.
but something that doesn't relate to that, something that perhaps, let me
Don't
think,
love me, yeah.
how can I put it better?
We were talking about this earlier on with Marco before we went online, which is there's something very exceptional about meeting new people and being curious about other people, because you never know, but right there next to you, there may be somebody who had some fantastic experiences, and maybe you're not being curious enough about what lies behind that person. But if each one of us, they scratch a little bit over the surface, just a little bit, and we become more curious, and we use that curiosity to become more interested about the person next to us that has an amazing story, we learn a lot of things. And in these places, in these very poor places, yes, there were a lot of people who lacked education or who had education, but were not able to use that formal education into meaningful jobs because the economy didn't allow it for, or because their economies were totally destroyed by war. But if you scratched on the surface a little bit, suddenly all these amazing stories would come up to the surface. I think if I look back and I try to remember what I learned, God, I will tell you that, I met amazing human beings because of what they went through, but more because of what they learned from those experiences and what they were willing to share with me. And I learned a lot of wisdom that then when tragedy struck on me, when I had bombing and when I had to go through everything that I had to go through, that wisdom enabled me to look at what happened and extract learnings, and that was very good. I think that was.
You're so rich. You're so rich as I don't mean money, but you're so, maybe you are, but you're so rich.
Not on money, yeah.
I mean, a check is on the way again, so
right, exactly. I'm going to become rich after we finish this.
Yes,
exactly.
I'm paying you for this interaction, but
you're going to be covered. There's going to come an helicopter. It's going to throw you money.
Right.
She's trained for that, right?
She's trained. Because we didn't have the right pound notes. So we sent all in cents. Every 1 cent. So bring some back. Yes, sorry. I'm dragging the joke too much. I know. I need to make them shorter. Yeah.
You drag jokes, I drag questions.
You drag questions. Made for each other.
And I should be quiet.
No, but you have such an amazing art, a beautiful, beautiful art.
Exactly. It's so enriching talking to you.
We would love to learn more from you.
It sounds like you come from
a different planet.
From a different planet. You're like from the top of the. You're so wise.
I'll send you the check. Don't worry. Okay.
One very last question: are you sharing all these experiences through your? Because I learned about the center of Sergio Vieira de Mello. And what are you doing with the center? De Mello. I think it's De Mello, right?
No. Yeah. De Mello.
De Mello, right? I was unsure for a moment because of the Spanish, right?
Because LL in Spanish should be yo.
He's very smart. That's so
I thought I was unsure to say Mello.
Paella.
So in the Spanish of Argentina, it would be Mello. But in Portuguese, it's actually Mello.
It's Mello, so it's Sergio Vieira de Mello.
Okay.
Mello. But Erica, what you said is right. With my mother-in-law, with Sergio's mom, in 2008, we founded an organization, an NGO, called the Sergio Vieira de Mello Center. You can find it on Instagram and on Facebook, and also we have a website, sergiovieirademelo.org. Our idea was to bring the idea of diplomacy to a wider audience and to democratize the teaching of diplomacy. Because you have to understand
that.
This is beautiful.
Yeah, democratizing, that's such
that in Italy, we had a subject that was taken off because it was boring. Educazione civile.
Right.
We had
Civil
that.
education, yeah, it's more of
Which
a-
was something like that. It was very nice. It was to be
Right.
kind to each other, and then they took it off.
Well, because there are those simple skills that
Yeah.
actually that are very basic, that sometimes they come with education,
Yeah.
but that they are no longer in the school curriculum, and they're important for you to know them because they're life skills that you can learn and that are
Yeah.
actually are useful for the rest of your life and to find a job, to relate to other people, to know how to start conversations. And sometimes those who have less means and who maybe live in the periphery, they do not have access on, the very basics of how do you negotiate, how you explain things more eloquently so people listen to you, even in your physical aspect to others in order to be hired for a job.
Before an interview, make sure you do 50 push-ups
I think this is quite unique because I never heard about democratizing diplomacy
and working
in,
out before the
and
interview.
working
yeah?
out before interviews.
Skiing,
But
yeah.
that's very, very
Many times
useful, I think.
diplomacy is seen. I think many times diplomacy is seen as the realm of just a few privileged people. Gilda, with Sergio's mom, we said, well, why don't we bring it to a wider audience? Why maybe we don't bring it to even kids who don't want to know anything about it because they feel it's too far away? Why don't we make them curious about what are the actual elements that
This
Which
is
is
make
also-
others, being successful at this? And sometimes those skills are just like people skills, are just very basic skills.
Yes,
Exactly,
like be
yeah.
kind, understanding. Of course,
Having
yeah.
empathy.
Understanding, trying to
Diplomatic,
empathy. Yeah, it's like, I think that's
It's true.
amazing.
When you see someone that is more educated, like it comes from a more educated background, perhaps with more money, is not always the case, but most certainly is people that is more diplomatic. They are more understanding. They're more of course,
empathic. They kind
There's
of,
the difference.
Nuances, exactly, of the nuances.
they try to find a way to connect rather than putting a barrier or
This is
like
one
not
of those,
talking
even
or raising
knowing,
your voice. Or,
even knowing sometimes, it's about empathy, it's about, being persuasive, and how are you like that? These are skills that many times, we learn from teaching, or we learn because we have role models. But sometimes in poorer countries, what's lacking are these role models, and then the new generation, the youth, they don't really know how to model that behavior because they don't have anybody to turn to. Sometimes just teaching those basic things about it, developing empathy, developing negotiating skills, developing, how to dress for job interviews. Little adjustments that sometimes, they make a difference, and they make, that jump into you getting a different job, you getting a better job. The big deals and the big changes are made. So why not bring it, to a wider audience to appreciate that? So that's the idea.
And applause to these.
democratizing diplomacy is like a big round of applause for this.
And an applause to this first.
Yes.
Here we go with this.
Absolutely.
And
yes.
another applause because I love the fact we don't often have the chance to talk about the less fortunate, which is really the people that we should help because someone
And they
that
are
is
the majority.
It's important to be able to be the connector between these two worlds. Many of us can have a meaningful role by connecting the world of the super rich with the world of those who have nothing. By being this connector, actually, we do make a difference. And I think that many people in your audience, they are trying to find an answer of how
Life.
to make an impact. Yeah. How to
true.
make an impact, how to lead meaningful lives. And I
Yeah.
think it's important to know that perhaps one way to lead a meaningful life is connecting, is doing this connection, is bridging this gap. I'll take the opportunity of, inviting you to know more about the work of the Center, of the Sergio Vieira de Mello Center.
Absolutely.
Absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely, yes.
And invite you to come, to our Instagram account, also on Facebook, and also on the web at
Definitely.
sergiovierademello.org.
We will,
Absolutely,
absolutely. And
absolutely.
are you operating right now just in Brazil, or is it expanding or are you working towards all the other countries as well?
Well, we are based in Brazil, but we work a lot in East Timor, and we work a lot in other, in all the countries. For instance, we have now one of our projects is based on negotiations, a training on negotiations, which we are doing on Zoom. So one of the ideas is to use the Zoom platform to do these trainings in negotiations between, say, kids that are in Brazil and kids that are in East Timor. So, for instance, it would be fantastic if we can bring kids that are in the UK or in Italy, and that they join, these 15 and these 16-year-olds that are,
16,
practicing.
That's so amazing.
That are practicing negotiation.
Anything that we can help with.
One of the big things is disseminate that this is taking place. And as it's taking place from the tables of people in their houses, and again, bring together the audiences. It's all done in English. And, if you help me to disseminate the work of the Sergio Vieira de Mello Centro, Sergio Vieira de Mello, and we can find more information on Instagram at Centro Sergio Vieira de Mello. And we have a Twitter account, Sergio Vieira de number 8, or just Google us.
It's gonna be linked down below everywhere.
It will be everywhere. Connected with Carolina and everything.
Fantastic.
We always ask our guests.
Oh yes, true. Yeah.
If you were given the possibility to be a ghost for one day, what would you do?
I think I would like to travel across time.
Nice.
Travel across time.
I would travel across time. And maybe travel to the 1920s. It's my favorite.
No.
1920s. That's a very interesting era. That you mentioned.
So at the beginning of the First World War.
Yes, it's time that period between the two wars. Would travel, and maybe I go to Paris.
Why would you go during the war? Would you like to know what people is?
Well, actually, I said between the two wars, but now that you're saying during the war, I would be interested in
maybe 1875.
1875. I would be interested in traveling not to the war, but to the countries that were not part of the war, and I would be interested in knowing.
That's a good point of view. Yes.
How they would be watching the war, because I know that there were a lot of, for instance, in my home country, there were a lot of relatives or descendants of families that were English families and were Italian families, and whose kids were volunteering to go to the war. And I always wondered how that felt, that suddenly maybe you had a family, say, in Argentina, and that your kids were volunteering to, wage war in Europe. That was the beginning of globalization. War was the first way to globalize the war by sending something as valuable as your own kid into a war in another country.
I do have a possible answer to this. I think that the countries like Italy, UK, Germany, France, and the United States, they are perceived as spoiled from some countries. So, like, the consumerism, and as you said, the
West in general.
The West in general, all these too much things that are not needed. Even the diseases that there are in these countries, like you eat too much because you have too much, so you're greedy.
I would say, Marco, wouldn't that be a simplification too? Because in Western countries also you have the whole spectrum of people. There are people who are the super rich, but then you also have those who don't have. One should be also mindful of not simplifying. Our world is a complex world, and it's made about all these nuances. So it's hard. It's easy to actually go and point, oh, they are rich, but it's not, or that Europe was in war and the rest of the world was not. I'll give you a concrete example of that. That, for instance, Brazil, which you could say that is in the periphery. Brazil was part of World War II. And actually, Brazil fought alongside the Italians in World War II. And you would think, what does Brazil have to do with the war?
Did they bring some entertainment with with the dancing and the Italians with the pizza? Yeah, that's my idea of Italians and Brazilians. Yeah.
Definitely, that's probably how pizza got in Brazil, because those soldiers came back and
exactly. Guys, tenemos la pizza.
I guess war internationalizes a lot of things. It's also well known that world travel, as we know it today, started really after the war. It was after World War I that the airplane industry actually really took off. So war actually, catalyzes a lot of things.
Yes.
You can even say, now the war against the pandemic, the war against the coronavirus, a new type of war, catalyzing and fast forwarding for the drug industry to come up with a vaccine, in record time. Usually a vaccine takes 10 years to develop. It's a very drawn out process.
Absolutely, yes, it is, yeah.
And what we are experiencing now, what we are watching now is a very unique situation, because it's a worldwide pandemic, and that all the pharmaceutical industry in the world is coming together to fight this. It's very unique because, again, it's an extreme situation because people are dying, at an exponential rate.
How is it going in Argentina?
In Brazil.
In Brazil.
Yeah. In Brazil, it's doing very bad. Fortunately, the focus on the pandemic worldwide, it's shifting its focus towards Brazil. And it's really bad.
The lockdown in Brazil started a bit later. Am I right?
Yeah. It started a bit later, and also there were mixed messages from leadership. The population started looking at some answers. I guess human beings are kind of wired into looking for answers. And the leadership in Brazil was sending mixed messages, and that was not good at all. That actually created a lot of confusion.
Yeah. But are you in lockdown at the moment? Do you have to stay home and the classic?
The new normal.
The new normal.
Yes.
Yeah, we go hunting for food here in London. Yeah.
We got ducks running around, the squirrels at our house.
We had ducks. Now
they're still there. They are busy.
No, they're not anymore.
They own the place, and I love that actually.
Now they own the place. I love it. Exactly. Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. Oh, you own the place.
I really love it. It's very quaint. It's like a fairy tale. They all run around. You find them where they were never supposed to be, and so it's nice. It's a new.
Like on my jacket, on my favorite jacket. Yeah.
Next time I want to have some duck, maybe I'll just go out the balcony.
You know what? I get it now. I get it now, and I freeze it. Yes, and I don't even need a rifle. I just go behind and I grab it. Yeah. I'm a genius.
Marco.
My intelligence is wasted. You see.
Wish I used it more and share.
I should be like a prime minister or something. Yeah. What do you think, guys?
We need more Marcos in leadership these days.
In the government, yes.
But we absolutely, please. Now is the time to run for office.
Marco, now is your time to run for the office, Marco. Yes.
I will definitely do that. Carolina.
You are incredible.
You are incredible.
And we can't wait to meet you in person.
Definitely, it was my pleasure. I really thank you. for
Thank you so
putting
much.
my narrative and my voice out there, and to be able to do it through your channel, through your means, through your platform.
And now let's talk about serious stuff. ¿Cómo es la pizza
en Brasil?
De la mamma.
La mamma e la pizza. Come sono in Brasile?
Well, it's very important. This is a very important topic. In Brazil, there's a type of pizza that I'm sure Italy doesn't have.
Really?
You see?
I'm definitely going to Brazil to taste
So we need
pizza.
to taste it.
Have you tried, Marco, have you tried banana pizza?
This is a trap.
I'm kidding.
This is a trap.
Why? How do you
You haven't tried banana pizza?
No.
Banana pizza, it's pizza with banana and with chocolate.
No.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
Is
I
it
love
white?
banana with chocolate.
Is it white or with tomato?
Take out the tomato and we put chocolate. It's sweet pizza.
Ah, okay. Yeah, the pizza with Nutella, we have it.
With
Yeah.
Nutella, but without banana.
But not without banana. Yeah, we,
Banana is
No,
a good
with
addition, I
banana.
think.
no,
Banana is the best.
I'll definitely try the banana on the pizza. Yeah, definitely.
It's
Yeah.
delicious.
You mentioned before there is the globalization. Why can't I still get a decent coffee in London?
No, we
Well,
get
with
a
all the
lot of
globalization,
beautiful coffee in London. I could just say that.
we brought the Italian coffee. We brought the machine. Just give me a coffee.
No.
We
There
brought
are amazing
everything.
coffees actually in it.
There is half
But
a million.
also, do you know that Brazil is one of the masters of coffee, actually?
Yes,
Talking
they
about
are, yes,
it, it's like-
I think because you have to make it, Marco.
I
You
have to
have
make it
to
myself.
make it.
Yes, we have the mocha. I grow my own beans. Yes, I pour the water.
It's very attentive with it.
Grow them on the balcony? Don't you grow
Yes.
them?
Yes.
Yes.
I have my own
We have a
sun lamp. Yeah, because
we have a Brazil corner on
Brazil
the,
corner, yeah.
on the balcony, so it's
Yeah. I even dance Macarena to make them feel
lambada.
more lambada. Yeah.
Hola,
If you didn't say it, people would think that I was still clever. Instead, yeah, nothing. It's gone.
Sorry, I didn't want to do that.
You had to give it.
It came to my mind, the Brazil lambada. It's like
You had to take it from me, right? And you
No,
too,
no.
Carolina.
Because
Yeah.
you two are too international. You know too many cultures and too many dances. That's
Too many
that's
stuff. Too many
the
stuff.
problem.
Yeah.
But actually, we never ask Carolina to dance because we always ask our
She's
guests,
mu- she
do you
might-
dance?
she must be
Because
exhausted.
She's
She's
from
been to-
Argentina, right?
She's been 2 hours with us.
Poor her. We shall leave her next
I know you want her
time.
to dance.
Next time we will ask her to dance. Next
This is
time.
not an interview. This is a torture.
But I've been dancing already.
You have been dancing already.
Can you dance?
Yeah,
Can you
great.
dance?
Oh yes, she did it from the very start. So she dances.
Oh yeah.
You see, there
It
is a
looks
bit
like
of
a bit Indian as well,
Indian
yeah.
there.
It's no fun to dance alone. Maybe if you join me.
True. We shall.
Yes, we will do a group
Once
dance.
we will
Yeah.
be together, we will be.
How many people? How many people should we bring? 60, 70?
The more the merrier.
Okay, a mixed group. Of
Of course.
course, yeah.
Bring them along.
The neighbors are looking at us funny. Yeah.
Oh yes.
Hey guys,
They were really up there.
they were really up there. Yeah, we really.
I thought you were joking for a moment.
No,
and
I wasn't,
looked up and he was there.
How's it going, Carolina?
Carolina, we kept you for quite a while
You are
as
absolutely
an hostage
You
of
are
Britalians.
more of a guest than she's a hostage.
I guess so, right?
She's laughing,
Poor her.
but she's scared. You see,
You
she's
will put-
thinking.
I'm having a blast. I'm having a blast. You know that Gilda, Sergio's mother, she lived in, and Sergio too. They lived in
Yeah.
Italy. They lived in Genova. They lived in Milano. They
Milano, Genova, yeah.
because Sergio's father was a diplomat. So much of the work that he did was in Italy, actually. So they spent in all, I think, like 10 years in Italy. Yeah.
This is remarkable. We're definitely going to say this. Yeah, yes.
So I mean, so if we start digging, we get more and more and more connections.
That's amazing.
We might do another one, another session. Yeah?
Absolutely, yeah, we shall.
We'll do it all the times that you guys want.
Awesome.
Okay,
That's a good answer.
Thank you so much. It's an honor.
At least for the audience. So we have it on camera. Yeah.
Thank you.
Love you so much.
All our love, our amor to you.
Tanto amore, tanto amore.
Tanto amore, tanto
Tanto
amore.
amor.
Ti
Tanto
amo,
amor
ti
to
amo,
you.
bambina. Ti amo.
Ti amo, ti amo.
And guys, thank you so much for watching.
Thank you for watching.
We hope that you enjoyed it. We did our best. We did 3 hours. So, I mean, if you didn't enjoy it, I'm gonna hate you forever, okay? That's it.
No, we love you. We love
We
you.
love you no matter what, yeah.
Be happy, keep smiling, and we'll see you very soon. Very soon.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, very soon, yeah.
You will see Carolina
5
very
minutes,
soon
yeah.
as well.
Yeah, Carolina as well, yeah. Bye guys, love you.
Bye.
Mwah. Ciao.